replacement as Tennessee football coach. 15 names from Gruden to Gundy. The Butch Jones era ended Sunday. Here are some names that could come up during the coaching search as the Vols look for Jones' replacement. Current job: ESPN analyst. Why it makes sense. Gruden's wife, Cindy, is from Sevierville. She's a Tennessee alumna and was cheerleader there. Their son is a current Utah student. Gruden started his career as a graduate assistant to Tennessee from 1986 to 87. Gruden won a Super Bowl championship with Tampa Bay after a successful stint at Oakland. He's enjoyed a cushy gig with ESPN for the past decade, but Tennessee is one of the few college jobs that might be able to package the money and the family ties that could make it worth Gruden's while. More: Butch Jones fired as Tennessee football coach. Brady Hoke is Vols interim. Why it doesn't. Does Gruden want to return to coaching? If so, why hasn't he jumped on a job since his last coaching gig ended in 2008? And does Tennessee want a guy who hasn't ever been a head coach in college and hasn't coached period for a decade? It would take a lot of money to make Gruden take a sniff at Utah. Current job: ESPN analyst. Why it makes sense. Kelly went 46-7 in 4 seasons at Oregon. He was fired from his 2 NFL jobs, so if he wants to get back in coaching, going back to college makes sense. Given his profile, it would take a big-time program to put together a package that could entice Kelly. Adams: Butch Jones, a great Tennessee football salesman with too thin skin and not enough wins. Why it doesn't. At the 2017 SEC spring meetings, the league amended a hiring bylaw, adding a hurdle to any SEC school hiring Kelly. The rule states that if an SEC university wants to hire an individual who has participated in an activity that resulted in a major NCAA infraction, the university chancellor or president must consult directly with SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey before offering employment. In 2013, Oregon received 3 years of probation, and Kelly received an 18-month show-cause penalty after a major infractions case. Would Utah Chancellor Beverly Davenport want to vouch for Kelly with Sankey? Also, Kelly has never held a position in the Southeast. Does he want to jump into the SEC, or would it make more sense to return to a Pac-12 job? More: Vols. Other SEC schools would face hurdle to hiring Chip Kelly thanks to bylaw approved this year. Current job: Central Florida coach. Why it makes sense. Frost is one of the hottest group of 5 coaching names. He's going to appear on a lot of watch lists for Power 5 openings. He was the offensive coordinator for 3 seasons at Oregon after 4 seasons as Kelly's wide receivers coach, so he has high-level experience. He's in his 2nd season at UCF. Tennessee hired a head coach from a non-Power 5 school the last 2 times the job was open, so there's a track record for this move. More: Brady Hoke is Vols interim head coach. Why it doesn't. He's only in his 2nd season as a head coach and went 6-7 in year 1, though he's off to an undefeated start this season. He's a Nebraska alumnus. Would he want to wait for that job? Or what about the Florida job, which is open? Current job: Mississippi State coach. Why it makes sense. Mullen knows the SEC. He has taken Mississippi State to 7 straight bowl games. That's no small feat at Mississippi State. He has a track record for shepherding exciting quarterbacks. He was Urban Meyer's offensive coordinator during Florida's national championship seasons in 2006 and 2008. After proving himself as a first-team head coach at Mississippi State, might he be ready for a new challenge? Rex Road: Butch Jones fired at Tennessee. Coach let things that don't matter distract him from what does. Why it doesn't. Mullen is paid handsomely at Mississippi State, earning $4.5 million a season. The expectations at MSU aren't what he'd face at Tennessee, though the Bulldogs compete in what has been the tougher side of the conference for the past several years. Also, with Florida's job open, that would seem an attractive landing spot for Mullen if he wanted to leave Starkville. Florida's AD, Scott Strickland, used to be Mullen's AD at Mississippi State, and Mullen was on staff at Florida during a decorated period for the program. Current job: Iowa State coach. Why it makes sense. The 37-year-old Campbell's career is on the fast track. He was 35, 15 and 4 seasons as Toledo's coach before departing for Iowa State after the 2015 season. The Cyclones were just 3-9 last year, but already have doubled that win total this season. That includes major upsets over Oklahoma and TCU. He had the Cyclones in the top 25 at one point this season. Campbell overlapped with Tennessee AD John Currie in the Big 12 last year. Campbell's first season at ISU was Currie's